Welcome to the Yellow Trumpet. I am Chituga, and today our topic is how easy you are to control. Are we that easy to control? We Nigerians, I mean. Are we so easy to control? I would argue yes. Case in point being the change of our national anthem, the manner with which it was done, and for the purpose that it was done. It is claimed that the president has a priority. It is the president's priority to change the national anthem. The campaigns did not suggest that. There is an interview where he mentions it. But over 1 year in office, he took no step. And in less than a week to 1 year anniversary, the National Assembly mobilized its resources, passed a new law in record time, and it was signed without consultation. Now all the conversation that we are having with regards to the 1 year in office is about the national anthem, leaving the critical issue of judging the performance of the administration. It is a brilliant maneuver. It is good politics, but good politics does not necessarily mean good policies. And so by doing so, we have set a dangerous precedent for our democracy. The precedence being the moment our elected representatives get into office, regardless of our situation, regardless of our opinions, they can make whatever decisions they like. That runs contrary to the principles of democracy. Democracy means that those elected listen. It is true that the general population may not always know the right thing to do, but democracy also means that if you have a proposal for the people that will be beneficial to them, you take your campaign just the way you campaign to be elected. You take it to them. This is what we intend to do, and this is what it will likely achieve. You give them a sense of ownership in the country. But a situation where law is just passed in less than a week, they are an act of a bicameral legislature is passed in less than a week and signed into law, is cause for concern. It is. Though it seems like an easy strategy to manipulate the public into forgetting what ought to be the primary conversation after an administration's first year in office. It sets a dangerous precedent. I cannot help but say this again. The primary purpose of any government is the welfare and security of its citizens. Now I hear that a regional government is being proposed. I also am not against that. I hear that I don't know. I couldn't read the full draft, but I don't know how it affects state governors. If the states will be dissolved into a region, they will be the major impediment. Because as for the people, as from what I have said, if there are no major stakeholders like governors, elected officials like governors and the various state houses of assembly to halt that process or to checkmate that process, the constitutional amendment process, most likely it will scale through in record time, in fact. Though I hear that it will be, after the law is passed, it will be subjected to a referendum. That is noble. But it doesn't change the fact that we are easy to control. Are we? Why do I say we are easy to control? Because we are easily distracted from the issue. You must understand that where crisis arises, there is an issue. The issue may be remote or immediate, but the issue is the cause, and the situation, which is the fallout, is an effect. The situation is what is used as a form of distraction from the issue. This is a strategy that is employed by Nigerian officials to hoodwink the Nigerian public. It is either ethnicity. A burning issue comes up and ethnicity is thrown into the fray, and then there is confusion. The issue itself cannot be addressed. We all jump on the situation. So a fight arises, and boys are going at it, breaking each other's head and any other part of the body that they can afford to break. And you ask the question, what caused this problem? Why are you fighting this man? Majority of those involved may not be able to answer that question. All they know is that there is a fight, my people are involved, I cannot be left out. We have to win this fight. So, at the end of the day, the situation, which is the fight, may be addressed, but the issue which caused the fight may not even be known. That means another fight, perhaps in another location, will arise. The solution is that we should be able as a nation to have the difficult conversation. The difficult conversation is the conversation that may be tumultuous, may be hard to address. It is hard to address, but it is important for our national growth. The difficult conversation is issues that concerns being native and non-native of a particular location. We have seen what happens with state creation. Bayelsa created out of Rivers State, and all of a sudden Bayelsa is different from Rivers State. All of a sudden Rivers State is in the ownership of Rivers people to the exclusion of Bayelsans. This is strange. If we do not work as a people, our divisions or our differences will be taken advantage of. These differences can serve as a hinge or a uniting force. It can also serve as a dividing force. That I am not Yoruba, I am Ikwere, may spur in me curiosity to know more about the Yorubas. And in my search or quest for knowledge, they may in turn want to know about me. They may in turn want to or will be attracted to the idea that someone that is not originally of their ethnic group has taken interest in their ethnic practice. It is a thing of pride everywhere, not limited to Nigeria. In the same vein, that division can still be exploited based on our sense of comparison. That idea that we always have to compare. He has a bigger car, he has this. Oh, Igbos do this and Yorubas don't. Hausas do this and Fulanis don't. And then issues arise. Efik and Ibibio, Ikwere and Okreka. Just like that. Issues that don't concern you. Oh, the recent one in Rivers State is the tussle between the former governor, now minister, and the current governor, Sim Fubara. And I hear people, instead of addressing what the cause of the problem is, screaming, I am supporting this person because na Ikwere man. I'm supporting this person because I is on. That is not addressing the issue. Need I remind you that these two persons that claim to be quarreling worked hard to have the governor, Sim Fubara, elected. And all of a sudden, this issue arises. You do not ask yourself, based on your experience with the Amechi and Governor Wike crisis, or the Amechi and Wike crisis at the time, Governor Amechi and Wike crisis at the time, what is the cause of this quarrel? Honestly, what is the cause of this quarrel? You don't know the issue. So it will arise again. You are just dealing with the situation. Yes, we'll win, we'll do this, we'll do that. Oh, so easy you are to control. It doesn't matter the side of the divide you are on. You are too easy to control. And it's not like the control leads to your well-being and your security. It puts you in harm's way. The other day, that was last year, someone went out when they were protesting in front of the INEC office in Port Harcourt here, and a man was shot. That man died. For us, it is a news of one person dead. His name you don't know. But believe that man has a family. He's coming from somewhere. Perhaps a wife, perhaps children, but definitely a family, a home, where he is loved and cherished. And today he is no more, based on issues that he doesn't understand. A man has died, and now we are all scared to speak because perhaps we may be next. Don't go outside though. Rivers politics. Take advantage of our own people. Things that are used in controlling us, our ethnic divide, our ability or inability to stay focused on an issue or to be critical mentally. Our inability to stay focused, to easily be distracted by these same issues of religion, by these same issues of ethnicity, and our greed. I did say that greed is creed. And so in Rivers State, we have a situation where the elder statesmen hide their faces in shame. They cannot speak, they cannot confront the situation as it used to be. They cannot advise as it used to be because everybody sold themselves out. What do I mean? Everybody collected money, collected contracts, collected one thing or the other, and pledged fealty to a democratically elected governor. Now he is no longer governor. He still demands his fealty. He remains minister. He claims to be governor of Abuja, even if the constitution recognizes no such rule. And he still demands his fealty. I am told that the governor of Rivers State does not agree to his demands. And even the governor of Rivers State is incapable of addressing the issues publicly because they have been in league for years. Believe me that the quarrel going on is not about your welfare, is not about your well-being, is not about your security. It doesn't matter which state this is happening, whether it is Kano, the Emirates Tosso, or Zamfara. It doesn't matter where it is happening in this country. It is not about your security. It is not about your welfare. These men armed thugs. Why should thugs be armed? Why should men who do not have legal right to bear arms on every day on a day like election day? Are you easy to control? The indications suggest that we are. How do we address this situation? It is simple, but that simplicity makes it difficult because it is simple. How? Take your time to know who you are. Who am I? Is an important question. You would say that question has no answer. That is because you are searching for an intellectual answer. The answer to that question is based on experience, is experiential. Is based on experience. You must experience it the way you drink water to quench thirst, and not how you learn that water quenches thirst in a textbook. The way you taste salt to understand salinity, and not how you read about the characteristics of salt in a dictionary. That is how you take control of the situation. Yes, this situation is occurring around us and it has to be doused. That is called palliative. You address the immediate fallout. However, what is the cause of this crisis? In Rivers State, I feel certain it is greed, even though we have very little access to information. Another means by which we are controlled is propaganda. Information is limited, and so misinformation is spewed out of official channels, from official channels and their paid influencers, to do or say whatever buys favor in the eyes of the public for the administration. Just know who you are. Be conscious of your breath. It sounds an easy thing. In fact, it may sound a triviality, but it is not. Be conscious of your breath. If you are conscious of your breath, you are conscious of the food you chew. You are conscious of the way you swallow. You are conscious of the things you do, why you do what you say you want to do. You are just not responding to internal urgings, impulsive behavior. These impulses are the things that, no matter the means, whether it's by propaganda, by money, by religious and ethnic differences, or by misinformation, whichever means you are being controlled or we are being controlled, bear in mind that if you are conscious of your internal functions, if you are bold enough to ask that question and sit back enough to get the answer, I've not asked you to do much. 5 to 15 minutes when you wake up in the morning, or before you go to bed, or before you go to bed and when you wake up. 5 to 15 minutes. You sit quietly. Observe your breath. It's an important function. Without breath, you cannot be said to be alive. So this thing that is too important for your living, how come you don't know it so well? How come you let it operate unconsciously? This is the reason you are deceived. Know that. Breathe easy. Observe the tempo of your breath. Make it a habit. Do not be compelled by your urgings, your desires. These desires cannot be eliminated. It is your desire that moves you from point A to point B. So make it your desire to not be deceived. However, if you make that your desire, you will still be deceived. Make it your purpose. I won't say purpose, but make it important enough for you that you know who you are. That your opinions are not just mere regurgitation of things you read online or official positions on a WhatsApp group. That you know what you are saying, that it is not 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 that you are being given to type things on social media that is influencing the things you say in public. Make the welfare and security of your neighbor your utmost priority. This will in turn give us a better republic. For not only will you influence those ahead of us or the elected officials, influence their position, not only that, but you will also influence the next generation, the kind of human beings that we produce as a nation. I hope that through this you have learned something and you will be able to apply it in your life. I am Chituga Chinda. This is the Yellow Trumpet. Take care.